Good day, dear friend. I've been receiving a lot of queries and questions regarding the COVID jab specifically, and people wondering if it's right. Can they get it? Is there some spiritual aspect that's wrong regarding it? So I want to share with you some perspectives to help you think about it and just get clarity in your own mind, in your own heart. There's a lot of scientific and very non-scientific information going around on Facebook and other social media, and a lot of opinions being shared, a lot of spiritual opinions being shared. Many of these opinions are by people that's in no way competent to actually share such opinions. It's often based on hearsay, often by people that's got dubious scientific background and very bad theological foundations. There's a lot of conspiracy theories regarding the whole thing. So I just want to help you to think about it in a logical and calm and in a spiritually sound way. Now, I am not an expert when it comes to the scientific part, hence I won't make a lot of scientific statements, although I grew up in a very scientific house. In fact, lots of my years as a child I spent in the chemical laboratory of the University of Pretoria. And after my studies, I studied some more and more and more. I studied a lot, and all of these studies in different directions taught me to think in a very scientific way and not just get swept up by the hype. Now, in times of uncertainty, it typically creates fear with people. And the moment people don't understand something, that moment, it is really fertile ground for conspiracy theories and for over-spiritualizing things. And this has been the case throughout history. A very good example would be when Galileo Galilei found out and made the statement way back in 1610 that in fact the earth revolves around the sun and not the sun around the earth. The reaction of the populace and the church specifically, they hated him for it. They said that he was a heretic. They banned him in the end, and because they felt that he was wrong. According to them, and according to their interpretation of the Bible, and their understanding was that actually the sun and everything else was revolving around the earth. So I feel for the poor people, because their whole view, their whole way of looking at life was shaken when Galileo made the statement. Of course, today we know that he was right and they were wrong. They might have been sincere, but they were sincerely wrong. And we know that that's not the only way to interpret the Bible. Today we know there's different ways of interpreting the Bible, and in no way is the Bible against what Galileo said. We look at the Bible differently than they did. So I know that COVID has shaken a lot of our worlds. We all feel the effect of it. We all feel the impact of that. What we know is in flux. So during this time, many people think in terms of COVID and what's happening, and they interpret it in terms of their understanding of the times as being the end times, as being maybe the jab being like the mark of the beast that's spoken of in Revelations, and they think in terms of a one world power that's trying to control us, and that's many times based on their interpretation of the times and their understanding of the Bible. So who can you trust in all of this? Well, the Bible teaches us very nicely how to handle things. This is a general principle, but 2 Timothy 3 verse 14, it says, stay in what you've learned and what you are sure of, because you know those from whom you've learned it. And that is the principle. If you want to trust a source, you have to know the source. If you want to know information, know your source, know the motives of your source, know the expertise of your source. Ask yourself, the sources I'm listening to when it comes to this COVID thing, these people, do I know them? Do I know their expertise? Do I know their motives? What are their motives? Do their lives testify about love and truth? Do you know why they do what they do? If you don't, I'd say stay away. So there's some good people that you can listen to with good testimonies. There's two specifically that I put on our Afrikaans Church Facebook page because it is unfortunately available in Afrikaans, but I will translate it for you. If you contact me, I'll get an English copy or something to you. But by Dominee Stefan Joubert, that talks about, and he explains very well, and I'm in full agreement with him, why this COVID jab has got nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Absolutely nothing. Now, he's a reputable character and a knowledgeable character, and we know his life. Also, Dr. Isaac Burger, who is the previous president of the AFM, has got a whole video, also unfortunately in Afrikaans, but where he talks about how we should interact with each other, how we should interact with each other in love if we differ, and keep loving each other, keep respecting each other. But why he also explains why scientifically it is not wrong in terms of getting a jab and people working on a vaccine that may save a lot of people. He also explains spiritually how it's impossible for something like a jab to actually change our relationship with God, and it's got nothing to do with the mark of the beast. Again, these are reputable people, and these are people whose lives and who we can respect, and therefore we can be sure of what they are teaching us. What am I saying? Well, I said not a lot of scientific things. I know for a fact, and I checked that the medical aid schemes, who has got some of the best and brightest doctors and scientists in the world working for them, they encourage people strongly to get the jab. Why? What's their motive? Well, they want to save money. They know it will save them billions of rands keeping people out of hospital, and therefore they are encouraging people to get the jab. On a spiritual level, I want to tell you that the COVID jab is just like any other vaccine, the one against polio, against measles, all which we are thankful for today, saving lives. It's the same as the vaccine I had to get when I went on a missionary trip to the Congo, and I had that jab, and it enabled me to go share the gospel. If it wasn't for that, I could not go and share the gospel with people. And here I stand, almost 10 years later. There's nothing spiritual about the vaccine. I'm not saying you should get the jab or you shouldn't get the jab. What I want you to know is, don't think of it in terms of anything spiritual. It's a normal vaccine. It might actually be wise to get the vaccine. God bless you.